Hey y'all, I'm gonna do a little October TBR video. I just finished recording the reluctant TBR tag. I think I am gonna incorporate a lot of those books into my October TBR, not all of them. I feel like I want to pull a lot of books from my own shelf. I am a little bit over reading ebooks, and I have a lot of books that I just haven't read. I've been holding on to them for a long time, or I've just finished them, softy enough, whatever. And I think after September, where I pretty much only read short books, like under 200 pages, I feel like I'm in the mood for a bit of a longer novel experience. So, okay. A couple of them are going to be library books that I've had for way too long. And my library is very kind and doesn't charge people fees. Just renews it kind of infinitely. And if you lose it, if you take the book back, they'll just take away the fee. If there ever is one, which is so rare. Like, I think that's only happened to me once. And I had the book for like over a year or two. And then they were finally like, is this lost? And I was like, no, I'm just pretending like it's mine and not the library's. You know, this one is pretty short, so I just think that I just haven't felt very motivated to read it. It's called The Shadow of Things to Come by Kossi Efoui. I think Kossi Efoui is from Togo. You know, I just don't really want to know too much, but seems to be kind of Orwellian, dystopic, and it's set specifically in an unnamed African nation. The next one I'm going to try to finish is a collection of short stories by Izumi Suzuki, Terminal Boredom. I probably got about halfway through this, but it's also not very long, so I think I'll probably just be able to read this in like 1 or 2 days. Some of these stories are definitely based in the speculative fiction genre. Other than that, I don't really remember too much. I think these stories just kind of run the spectrum of different topics. Okay, and the third book I'm going to try to read is called Bad Cree. And, you know, the blurb up here says, a mystery and a horror story about grief, but one with defiant hope in its beating heart. And that is a blurb by Paul Tremblay, author of A Head Full of Ghosts. I haven't heard of this person or that book. And this is gonna be, I think, a main character is having dreams or real moments in the waking world about crows, like bodies of crows. Like, I think that there's going to be a lot of crows in this book, and there's a tiny little, oh my god, that's super, there's a tiny little crow right there on the cover of the book. I hope that this will be kind of, I don't know, I want a book to actually scare me. I don't think I've been scared from a book since I was in like middle school and I read Jurassic Park, and I was like, wow, these dinosaurs are really scary. If you all know of any like really scary books, like please tell me. Like, it is like so hard for a book to scare me. Movies, on the other hand, sometimes I'll be like, yeah, that was kind of scary. But books, I want to know the scariest ones out there. Please tell me. I don't know if this is kind of cringe for me to read this or even to own this book, and y'all can definitely tell me if it is, because I'm out of the loop. But I guess it's a classic. I don't know. I've had it. I probably found it in a free library. It's A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. I've never seen the movie. I only vaguely know what the plot is about. And even at that, I don't know if I could tell anybody what it's about. I'm like, some guys break into a house. I don't know. And I think that it's kind of fun to say wrong things about a classic. The next one that was on the reluctant TBR that I just kind of want out of my brain and life, and I know that I can't just let go of reading this or not reading this, but I'm gonna try to read this. And the first sentence is really funny to me. I don't know why. And I'm gonna read it. The stranger came out of the sea like a water ghost, barefoot and wearing the scars of his journey. There's something about the words like a water ghost that I just can't stop saying as if it's like a joke. I'll be like, oh, like to one of my cats, I'm like, Or are you lying there in the sun like a water ghost? It's just stuff like that. I just think it's really funny, and I like, it's the whole book and be like that. I'm like, I'm reading this book like a water ghost. Wow, this thing is like so reflective. Yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's one under here that I don't, that's also a library book that I want off my shelf and out of my life. And I don't know if this is YA or not, but I don't think it is. I think it's just a story about some like kids in like Victorian England, and I think it's fantasy. I think there's monsters. I don't know. I mean, the book is literally called Ordinary Monsters, so if it was a fantasy book called that and there were no monsters in it, I would throw it all the way back to the library, and it would land perfectly in the return book slot. That's how I would return it if there are no monsters in Ordinary Monsters. And yeah, other than that, I don't really know. I think I just kind of like have had this book for too long, and it seems, again, like probably an easy enough read fantasy thing, and it's long-ish. It's over 600 pages. So I'm like, should I add one more book to the TBR? I'm kind of just making it up right now, like with books that I pulled off my shelf. And so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 4 of those books are pretty short. 2 of them are kind of long. And I did read 14 books last month. I mean, technically it's still September right now when I'm recording. I'm like, I'm not gonna read that one. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I am gonna finish this one that I'm already halfway through, and that's gonna be my TBR, which is, it's not short. Ta-da! The TBR that's as big as my head and heavier than my head. You know, if you've read these books, if you're like, oh my god, Clockwork Orange is a cringe work orange, tell me if you read these books. Tell me if there are monsters and Ordinary Monsters. Tell me if a Clockwork Orange is a cringe work orange. Tell me if I should just read all these books like a water ghost. Tell me if I should just stop pretending that library books are my own books and kind of icing out the library when they're like, please give that back, and like, make me know. Okay, yeah, I just wanted this one to be like short and sweet and not a really annoying video to edit, because I have like almost 3 hours of other footage to edit. I wanted to kind of make a TBR that got some of my interest in reading some longer fantasy, which I haven't done in such a long time. 6 books, no big deal. October books are gonna be dystopic, scary, full of water ghosts. I can't stop saying it, water ghost. I don't know which one I'm gonna start with first. I have like one book that I'm trying to finish this month, and I'm reading one of those like Oxford publishes them. They're like the very short introductions. I'm reading that one about witchcraft. I'll probably read more books than this. I just want to start small and go from there. Not that these books are small, but the amount of books it is small. And I will hopefully read more books than that, but I just don't want to set too high of a goal and then not be able to do it, and then whatever. Yeah, I am just rambling now. So yeah, just comment or whatever. I just want to talk about books with people on the internet. So bye. Thanks for watching.